Hi, welcome everyone. So today we will see what we have seen last Wednesday and Thursday, right? So our schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday every 8 p.m. EST, and Saturday 12 p.m. Uh, so last Wednesday we have started this custom mission AI on IoT Edge. So Wednesday we have seen so we are doing the board classification project, right? So we have a find the data set. We have uploaded the data set into custommission.ai portal. Then using that customation, we have labeled the image, like what are the classification of boat type it is. Example, sailboat, ferry or cruise ship. So we have uploaded the different boat types. One second, I think it's still OBS is here. So if I'm opening the Chrome browser here, so this is what we have done. So custommission.ai. So we have created a new project, boat classification. So this one is going to classify between the different boat types. We have uploaded 8 different boat types, including cruise, ferry, freight, gondola, kayak or sail. So we have uploaded the image of each boat classification type, and we have tagged that image. For example, this one is kayak. So if you go to that the detail here, we tagged as a kayak here. So we uploaded all the image data sets, and we have labeled each and every image, including the negative tags. So what does a negative tag means? Like if I am uploading a image which is not fit into any of this classification, right? For example, these are the boat types. So I have uploaded like other images which is not boat. For example, train, car, and some food here, cat, and a flight. So I'm uploading these images and tag as a negative tag. So this negative tag will be helpful to identify these edge cases, so that like if you are uploading any image which is not boat, then it would say like, okay, the image will not fit into this image classification. So that's what the negative tag is. So we have uploaded that, and we have trained the image. We did like couple of iteration. So you can still upload like a new images to the portal, and you can create a new iteration for your pre-trained model. So those things we have done in Wednesday. Then Thursday, we exported this model so that we can run in like either mobile device or the IoT Edge device. So we exported that model using this iteration export. So you can see like what are the platforms we can export. So we exported in Docker file so that we can able to run this image in Azure IoT Edge, or even Azure Function or Azure Machine Learning Service. So these are the things we have done so far. So today what we are going to do is we are going to follow the IoT Edge tutorial document that is available in the Visual Studio documents. So we are going to follow that, and in Visual Studio Code we are going to try how to create the IoT Edge solutions, and what are the different languages that is supported by the Visual Studio Code, and whether we can do the Node.js based IoT Edge solutions, and how the IoT, what are the different components in the IoT Edge solutions, like how to create a module and how to communicate between the modules. So we are going to deeply explore these IoT Edge solutions. I have not done IoT Edge solutions before, so we are going to learn together. So I'm going to follow the documentation and try to get through that, and do that the hands-on dirty code on the Visual Studio Code, so that we can understand what are the different components involved, and how the communication between the components, and how this IoT Edge device is communicating with the Azure IoT Hub, so that we can send the data to the IoT Hub. So these are the high level things we are going to follow that. So let's start with this, the documentation, right? Okay. Once again, I'm just okay. So here we are going to start Azure IoT Edge. I'm going to read like what is Azure IoT Edge and what are the different developer tools that is involved for the IoT Edge. So this is the IoT Edge thing. So let's go to the documentation. Okay, Azure IoT Edge is an Internet of Things service built on top of IoT Hub. I have done like the IoT Hub thing, but the Edge is kind of like yeah, another IoT Hub runtime that is able to run on the device itself, right? Because the IoT Hub component, which is running in the cloud, so whenever you are hitting the data, or if you need to like execute the custom business logic, then like the IoT device should need to reach out the IoT Hub cloud and either send the telemetry data or like doing any custom business logic over the cloud. But it's not like necessarily, because every time it's hitting the cloud, think of the data and the network thing happening. So that's what this Azure IoT Edge component comes in. So this Azure IoT Edge component is like is another is basically like IoT Hub proxy, or I would say like it's a mini IoT hub that's able to run on the device itself. So all your device module, all your sensor data, everything goes into that IoT Edge component that is running on the device, and that Azure IoT Edge is doing all those the pre-processing stuff, including like the data, or if you want to send like the certain things, then you are filtering there itself. So all the logic, business logic, that's running on Azure IoT Edge component, and it's sending message to IoT Hub whenever it's required. Let's back together and see in like a simple example there, right? For example, I'm having a temperature sensor in my IoT device. So the temperature sensor is going to send the data, the sensor data, like every few seconds, every 2 seconds, it's going to send the data. But I don't need all the data in IoT Hub for monitoring stuff. The only thing I need is like whenever the temperature is going above the temperature threshold or going below the temperature threshold, at the time only I need the data to be reported in the IoT Hub. Then this IoT Edge component, it would be having a custom code. So whenever there is a sensor data coming from the sensor, it's going to detect like, okay, I got the sensor data, but it's within the threshold, so I will not be reporting that to cloud. Still, it's going to process that data. And whenever there is a sensor that's reporting like the high temperature or the low temperature, then the custom code will understand like, okay, the temperature hits a high temperature and this needs to be reported immediately to the IoT Hub, so that either reporting or any alarm will go off, so that the different support personnel, right? So on that time, we are having this custom code in the IoT Edge that's taking care of sending the data above the threshold. So you are not like wasting the data or the time on like processing the data in the cloud. Instead, like everything is contained in that device itself. So that would like expand the possibility, and it's more convenient to manage these kind of data. So that's what like the Azure IoT Edge shortly. So let's go to this step-by-step tutorials. Before going into this classify images with the custom vision service as a module, I'm going to try with a simple IoT Edge solution so that I can understand like what basically IoT Edge is and how the components communicate with each other and all. Then we will adopt this our board classification image that project into this IoT Edge solutions. I think that makes sense instead of like bringing a more complexity while started like initial learning itself. Let's do like a one by one, right? So let's start like what is Azure IoT Edge and how to create the IoT Edge device, those stuff. Then once we have done, then we will bring this classify images with custom vision service as a module to this IoT hub. So the first thing I'm going to have a simple Node.js module. Basically like we are going to do this filter data with a Node.js module. So what this one will do, this is the example like I've explained before. So we can use this IoT Edge module. You can see this is the additional step. Okay. So whenever there is a message coming in, we are filtering that image, and the filter is like only we are sending the image to the IoT hub whenever the temperature threshold, whenever the temperature is greater than the temperature threshold. So this is a simple application for this IoT Edge module. So we will test this one, then we can go with that, the classify image. I think that would make sense. So let's start with that. I don't have any idea about like IoT Edge. I have worked on the IoT hub services and how those things communicate. So let's start with that, the Visual Studio Code, how we can do. Better I would go with the how-to guides. Yeah, this is what I want. So today we are going to see like how to register an Edge device, how to install and manage IoT Edge, and mainly develop and debug modules in VS Code. So these are the three things you will see today. Okay. So I'm into the how-to guides and going to this Visual Studio Code. So the prerequisite of this one is IoT Hub in your Azure subscription, Visual Studio Codes, and Azure IoT Tools extension for the Visual Studio Code. I think I already have the IoT Hub. These are the resource group. Okay, this is the recent resource. Sensor, Node.js, IoT. Where is IoT Hub? I think I don't have. 1 second, I will move this one to my next monitor so that I can access the secret stuff. So I'm in the different directory, I think. Okay, I'm in the same directory. Okay, still I'm in the recent resource only. I want to see all the resources. Okay, here it is, all the resources it is. So I already have this IoT Hub, Shiva IoT Hub. So I'm using this one for my training and learning purpose. So you can see like the different resources I have created for bot service and the machine learning, those things. I have this IoT Hub created as well. So if you go and see this IoT Hub, you have like certain information, and still it's in the free tier. You can see like what are the IoT devices, it's there. I don't have any IoT devices here, I think. And you can see like IoT Edge devices to query. I have one IoT device, IoT Edge device, Shiva device 1. So let's use this one. So our prerequisite for having the IoT Hub, we already have that. And the Visual Studio Code I obviously have, and Azure IoT tool extension. I think that also I'm having. Let's check that. Boot classification IoT Edge, or simple because we are okay. Let's say like a boot classification IoT Edge. IoT Edge directory, and I'm going into the directory, not this one. IoT Edge here. Okay, now I'm opening this Visual Studio Code to check like whether I'm having a IoT tools extension. I should be definitely having that one. IoT, yeah, I have this both IoT Hub Toolkit and IoT Edge extension. So IoT Hub Toolkit extension is for like interact with our IoT Hub, device management, edge management, and even like simulating the device, everything from your Visual Studio Code itself, right? So if you go to this is a Docker one. Where is the Azure stuff? Yeah, here it is. So if you go to the Azure IoT Hub device, you can see like this is the IoT Edge device we have seen in Azure portal. So you can like manage all your devices, even like a debugging certain things. You can do it from Visual Studio Code itself. So this is the thing we have done, like selecting the IoT hub and all. Probably like I would disconnect this. I'm not sure like whether I can disconnect. Okay, I'm selecting the IoT hub and go to my Azure portal and select my IoT hub here so that you can see the logs. IoT hub selected is my IoT hub. Okay, and I have created this device. Let me delete this device and let's create a new fresh device for that. Okay, the device is deleted. Now going back to the documentation again. So sign in to access your IoT hub. Using Azure IoT extension, we have created this Azure IoT hub devices. It's listing that, and we can select the IoT hub. So this is the part we have done so far. So we have selected the IoT hub. Then what we need to do is we need to create a edge device. In the text box that opens, give your device an ID. The device info is printed, which includes the device ID that you provided and the connection string that you can use to connect your physical device to your IoT hub. Okay, let's do that one. So going here, create a, actually, so here I want to say another thing. So create a device and create a IoT edge device, both are different, right? So create a device is like you are creating a physical device that's run on like the actual machine. But the creating the IoT edge device is like the IoT edge component, which is able to, that is like a IoT edge device is different from the IoT device, the creating the device. IoT edge device that has like all these Azure IoT edge components in that device, so that like you can deploy all your IoT edge modules into that device using the IoT edge device management from the Azure portal. I think doesn't make sense. So yeah, so both are different, like when you are creating the device and the creating the IoT edge device. As you have seen in the portal here, going back to this portal, So if you go to this IoT Hub portal, you can see like there is a IoT devices and as well as IoT Edge devices. So let's go back to this Visual Studio Code and create a new device here. So creating IoT Edge device, let's say like I will give that actual serial number like this one, or we are maintaining in that the real-time enterprise stuff. So each device have the serial ID, right? So let me create like Siva not one device here. That's creating the edge device, including the authentication part and the capability of the devices like IoT Edge True. And it's providing all the information like when it is created and what is the connection state, updated time, and what's the status right now, whether it's enabled or not. So all this information you have seen here. So once we created the IoT Edge device, you can view all the device, and to retrieve the connection string, if I'm going to device here, copy device connection string, I should be having my connection string here. Yeah, so that's go. And the next step is to deploy the modules to a device with Visual Studio Code. Okay, let's see that one. So using Visual Studio Code to develop and debug modules for Azure IoT Edge. Okay, I have Visual Studio Code, Azure IoT tool, Docker extension I am having. C#, Python, Java, C. Okay, don't we have the Node.js? Okay, there is a command palette in the Visual Studio Code extension that is using by Azure IoT Edge. It says like new IoT Edge solution, and we can develop the Node.js module as well, right? So how to debug a module without context? Okay, first we will create this new IoT Edge solution and see like how the other commands work. Okay, so going back to the Visual Studio Code, so Azure IoT Edge, there is setup IoT Edge Simulator as well, so that like if you want to simulate from your local machine, you can use this IoT Edge Simulator. So let me do that first. Okay, I think it did ask something, but I missed it. Okay, so it is asking me to select the IoT Hub device. So our IoT Hub Edge device is Siva 001, so I'm selecting that device. So it's running some command to set up the simulator. Okay. Yeah, got it. Like now the IoT Edge simulator is set up successfully. Let's create a new solution. Selecting the folder here, IoT Edge solution. Let me say I would name like board. Okay, I would name like what's the name I can give? IoT Edge solution. Okay, the name must contain only alphanumeric characters or the symbol underscore. Okay, board IoT Edge solution. Then it's asking me to like whether it's a C module or C sharp module, Java, Node.js module, Python, Azure Function, C sharp, Azure Machine Learning, Azure Stream Analytics. So these are the things you can deploy in the Azure IoT Edge, including like existing module. I would go with the Node.js module. So my question is like whether we can create a module in the different language in the same solution. I think we can, but let's try that as well. So let's create the Node.js module, the simple thing. And the sample module, I'm going to name this as a temperature sensor. Or I just like say a ping module. So another module like a pong module, so that we can communicate like a different communicate between the different modules, including like a ping module and the pong module. So let's try that one with the simple stuff, right? So it's creating the ping module. It's using the human generator to generate the module. Okay, it generated the modules. So if you go to that, okay, it's not generated yet. How is your day going on, guys? It's still executing the npx. Okay, after created the module, it restarted. I am trying to change the color theme. Yeah, this is better. So this is my app.js code. This is generated by default in this ping module. So let's examine these files like one by one. So we have created this IoT Hub Edge solution template, and it has this deployment template.json. It includes Edge Agent and Edge Hub. They already have this temp sensor, so I would see like what are the temp sensors that's coming. So properties desired, runtime is Docker, minimum Docker version is 1.25, and system module. So this Azure IoT Edge agent, this is going to run in the IoT device. So that is a system module. That makes sense. And Edge Hub, that is another Docker IoT Edge Hub image. So it's opening like a couple of port that is able to communicate to this Edge Hub thing. Edge Hub is like basically a IoT hub in the cloud, but it's a mini IoT hub that is able to run on this IoT Edge device. And they have this module. So these are the modules we are trying to deploy whenever we are deploying these modules as a IoT Edge hub or IoT Edge component, right? So the new model we have added, that is here, the ping module. The version is 1, type Docker, status running, all this stuff. And they have included this temperature sensor as well, but I don't want this to be running on my IoT Edge solution because this one is coming by default from the template itself. So I will be removing this. And routes is like ping module to IoT hub route only. I would not having sensor to ping module. We will see that like what these routes and all. Is there any other place I'm having temperature sensor? No. There is a deployment debug template JSON as well. I think it is opening the port 9229 so that we are able to debug the ping module from Visual Studio Code itself. Here also I don't need this temperature sensor that is coming default, and I don't need this route since we are removing the temperature sensor from the pre-generated file, right? So let's do that one. Okay, and going to the modules, I'm having ping module, and ping module it's saying like IoT hub module client initialized, and it's piping the message, receiving message, and sending the output. So this is where like we need to apply our business rules. What are the message we need to send it, right? So this is fine. um, Now if I need to run this solution in the IoT Edge solution in the simulator thing, let's do the debug template.json. Okay, it's building the Docker image. Basically the Docker image is like this Docker file node 8 alpine, and it's preparing the image for this ping module. Okay, it says found orphan containers, temperature sensor, image capture, Edge Hub dev for this project. If you removed or renamed this service in your compose file, where is compose file? You can run this command with a remove orphans flag. What is this config thing? This is the config, it's coming from here, right? Okay. Let's see. So it's creating the Edge Hub dev image. It's running that, loading the server certificate, creating a new message store, initializing the twin manager v1, initializing configuration. It's doing a lot of things in the container. Okay, so new device connection for ping module, and bind device proxy for device ping module, binding message channel, starting refresh, initialize cloud proxy for module. Okay, created cloud connection, processing subscription module messages for, okay, set subscription. Okay, something happening, and my IoT Edge Hub device is running with the module I have created is ping module, and this ping module, it's doing nothing except it's opening the connection to the edge instance, and it's waiting for the input message. So in fact this is a pong module, it's not the ping module, right? So it should be doing is, once I open the client, let me comment this one, it should be pinging the next module. So for that we need to construct a message, let's say like a ping message, and new message, where is this message coming from? Azure IoT device message, right? So in this one I need to set the string here, so probably like a json.stringify. I would say where ping data, some random GUID, to create the UID without any module, right? I think there is some system package itself. Okay, let's install this package. Going to modules, going to boot Iot Edge solution, going to modules, going to ping module, or I can go from the Visual Studio Code itself here. So let's install the UID. Modules, ping module, npm install. Okay, so let's clear this one. String does not match the pattern of. Okay, I think the ping. Okay, 1 second. Let's like back up a little bit. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to follow like the Node.js standard, because usually I see like whenever the Microsoft template, the default template, I would not say like in all places, some places they have mixed up the C# naming configuration and that the Node.js configuration. For example, if I am creating the package name with all caps similar to the C# solution module, then it would be complaining like the naming is not standard for the npm package and all. So I would go. So what I'm going to do is creating a module here, Azure IoT Edge, add a IoT Edge module, Node.js module, but instead of like the capital thing, I'm going to say like a ping module. Oh, come on. This what the problem is like. Okay, so let's keep like a ping module here. The localhost 5000 ping module, so it's going to create the ping module. I'm just thinking like since I'm from Node.js world and C# world as well, I see like the Node.js JavaScript world mostly they're having this the kebab kind of naming convention, but some places like whenever I'm creating this either bot Node.js or the IoT Hub Node.js, sometimes the naming convention is like a little bit different from the regular thing. Maybe I'm wrong. It's like it's based on like how we are setting that in that the project naming conventions, right? Okay, it's created this Azure IoT Edge modules, and I'm having this ping module. So if I go to the package.json, see this is what I have mentioned. So let me rename this ping module. So the default thing is like it's complaining the string does not match the pattern of this pattern for the node package name. So that's why like I'm just changing this one to like the kebab case, the usual format for node packages thing. Okay, so in the app.js we are converting this into the ping module, right? So the ping module, we need to continuously send the messages to the another module. So now we are trying to test the communication between two different IoT Edge modules. So we have created the IoT Edge solution and we are creating the ping module. That ping module is going to continuously send the message to the another module, which is Pong module. So let's create this one, instead of like piping message, I'm going to comment this. So first thing, we are going to create some message. That message is UID, to differentiate like what are the UID. Going here, adding this UID. Adding this package and open the terminal. Oh, sorry, integrated terminal. So I'm into modules, ping module, npm install to install the new packages. So let me install this new package, and going back to this app.js, I'm creating the uid.v4, a simple uid, and then the next thing is timestamp. Is new date get time stamp here. So we are going to send this message for every let's say like every 5 seconds, right? So what I need to do is do the set interval, and my logic is here, and every 5 seconds I'm going to ping that. So here what I need to do is var message equal to new message type, and the data is message buffer convertible, basically the string. So I just like stringify the data. I rename this as a data. So I'm just stringify the data and sending us a IoT message here. So getting this client and send output event, and name of the output event is let's say ping event, and the message is message. So it should be sending the message like every time. What are the other callbacks? So there is a callback once a message is enqueued, so that's where they are sending this print result for, right? So we will have the same format here. So we have this message client ping event, and it's sending the interval like every 5 seconds. So I don't need this pipe message, but I need this one for pong module. Okay, so this is what it's going to happen in the ping module. So in the ping module, what it's happening here is like the client from environment, and whenever the client is open and connected to the IoT edge instance, we are getting the data, we are sending UID and timestamp, and every 5 seconds we are sending that message to the output event that is called as ping event here. So the second parameter is message, and once that is sent, then it says like sending received messages, sorry, sending ping message. Okay, so this is ping module, right? So let's run this one. Let's see like how it is running. Oh, not this one, sorry. Build and run IoT Edge solution in simulator. Let's do the debug template. Okay, I will queue up the next music. copyright free music. Okay, it's asking for password. I got the error. It says like no such image ping module.debug. Okay, I think we have changed the name, right? So that's why it's showing error. Um, so let me see this one. It's happened in going back to this template. Yeah, here it is. So how to do ping module? Okay, I got it. Ping module.debug. We just like change the name, right? That's a problem. Okay, it's still having this old one. Ping module. This is a ping module we need, and this one I don't need. Yeah, this one I don't need. Remove this. Is there any other stuff here? No. What about this template which is running the production? Okay, this ping module I don't need. And this one I don't need. Okay, got it. So now if I am running this again in the simulator using debug template.json, it's building the Docker image. Creating the ping module for Iot Edge. Okay, so from the ping module, it says like sending ping message, status message enqueued. So every 5 seconds, it's sending the message to that message to the output event, right? So the next thing what we are going to do is we are going to create a Pong module. So once this ping module send the message to the Pong, then Pong is going to receive that message and probably set that to IoT hub, right? Does that make sense? What is okay? So right now the example they are saying is like from messages modules ping module outputs to upstream. Upstream in the sense like to IoT hub. Let me go and check my IoT hub whether I am receiving this message. I don't want to like send all these messages to IoT hub. I just want to ping sending messages to Pong and Pong is sending to IoT hub. So I'm just like playing with these kind of communication patterns between IoT Edge modules, so that like in the real-time scenario, let's say like the same boot classification, right? Let's assume we are having the different sensor that is sending data, and there is a IoT Edge module that is receiving data from all sensors and doing like the threshold limit logic, and then the sensor master, let's say like not the master, the sensor primary module that is going to send all the sensor data to IoT hub. So that's what I'm just thinking. Let's go Let's go back and see the Visual Studio Code. So it's sending message status to IoT Hub, I assume. So I'm going to the IoT Hub to see like whether it's sending the data to here, or even I can monitor here, right? So if I'm going to the Azure IoT Hub device, you can right click and start monitoring device to cloud message. So what does it mean is like you can like still monitor what are the messages that is coming from the device that is sending to the cloud, right? So you can see like the IoT Hub monitor, it's monitoring like what are the message that's coming from the ping module. So the ping module is sending messages to the IoT Hub every 5 seconds. Why the timestamp is same for all the message? Going back to the, oh, I got it why it is. The timestamp is generated once. It should be generated at every time it's sending the data. Okay, I think this makes sense, right? Yeah. So let me run the solution again. Okay, it's sending message. Right click and monitor the device to cloud message. There is running job to monitor. Please stop it first. How to stop it? How to stop it? Control C. This is the output, right? Okay, is somewhere in the terminal? No. How to stop monitoring device to cloud message? This is clearing the logs. Is there a message? Stop monitoring. Okay, there is a stop monitoring device to cloud. I'm not sure like why that's not included here in the menu item. Okay, so let's clear the logs. Let's start monitoring again. Now it should be sending the new timestamp value for every 5 seconds. Okay, still it's sending the old one. Let me stop this. Going back to this one. Build and run IoT solution in simulator using deployment debug template or JSON. So it's building the app. Why it's copying the cache? Okay, let's see that. Okay, it starts sending message again. So now if I am going to monitor the device to cloud, okay, now I am getting the different timestamp. Yeah, so this is what we are sending to IoT Hub. Now let's create a new module, Pong module, right? For that, going back to the Visual Studio again, create a module. and IoT hub device is Shiva 001 still, then Pong module. Create module. Okay, Shiva 001 Pong module. Okay, started creating the Pong module. It says already contains a Pong module, right? Where it is creating the Pong. Okay, let me delete this stuff. Now what we will do is create a model, selecting a device and Pong module, and it's creating a Pong module. So it should be creating a code also here. Oh, I need to create a IoT Edge module, that's why. Sorry guys, so let me delete the module here. Let me create the Azure IoT Edge module. So this one will be creating a code, right? Yeah, so this one will be creating a code. So deployment template.json, creating a node.js module, and let's name like Pong module here. And now it should be creating a Pong module into our solution. Okay, it's executing the npx human generator script, so that would be creating the Pong module. Then what we are going to do is we are going to send the message from ping module to Pong module, and Pong module will be sending that message to IoT hub device. Right now directly ping module is keep on sending the message to IoT hub. Now we are going to introduce a new component, so that we are testing like how the components communicate between each other and how the component is bubbling the data up to IoT hub. So let's see that. Okay, in the meanwhile I will take a short break. I will go and grab some water and snacks. My my throat was like a little bit dried up. 1 second, I will change the Oh, am I in mute? Oh, sorry guys, I'm in mute. Um, so this is what we are trying to see, right? We are trying to see how to communicate between the different modules. So what we are looking for, like the documentation to see like how to set up the route so that I can communicate between the different modules. So let's read this thing. Each IoT edge device runs at least two modules, Edge Agent and Edge Hub. This is what we have seen. Additionally, any IoT device can run multiple modules to perform any number of processes. So you deploy all these modules to a device at once. So IoT Edge provides a way to declare which modules to install and how to configure them to work together. So the deployment manifest, that's the document we have seen. So IoT Edge Agent Module Twin, which includes a container image for each module, credential to access private container registry, and instruction for how each module should be created and managed. IoT Edge Hub Module Twin, which includes how message flows between modules and eventually to IoT Hub. Optionally, the desired properties of any additional module twins. Okay, so this is how this deployment manifest looks like, and this is how we are configuring the device mod IoT Edge modules, including the system modules and the custom modules. So here we have already have this declaration. The modules contain both the ping and pong module. So you can go and see in our Visual Studio Code.
Did you accidentally summon me?
So here you can see like the modules contain two modules, ping module and the pong module. Both are from the Docker type, and the image is ping module and the pong module. So these are the two different modules in the IoT Edge, right? Now the next thing is declare routes. So the Edge Hub properties decide route 1, route 2, source, condition, into. So how to do that? Source all device to cloud message or twin change notification from any modules or leave device. Okay, so this is for any module. And any twin change, any device to cloud module sent by a module through some or no output. Any device to cloud message sent by a module through some or no. Okay, what's the difference between these things? Okay, this is filtering only the modules, right? Okay, the other thing is on specific module here. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Upstream means send the message to IoT Hub. Send the message to a specific input of a specific module. So this is what we want. So brokered endpoint, right? Okay. Here they are having this sensor to filter from sensor to the filter module input 1, then filter to output sending that module to that upstream. Okay, got it. So now let's do this one. Ping module to pong module here. So it should be from messages modules ping module slash outputs. I think any output here into brokered endpoint modules pong module inputs input 1, or I would say like ping input. Okay, we have added this brokered endpoint as well. And pong module, so we are getting all the output and sending to that outstream. Okay, got it. Now going to the pong module here, so it's piping the message whenever there is an input message coming, it's piping. And if the input name is ping input, Okay, so instead of let's going back to this deployment template JSON. So instead of this one outputs, can I have like this? Okay, let's try this one. So ping input. So what we are going to do is in the Pong module, if it is a ping input, then get the message and send the output to the IoT hub. Yeah, that makes sense. So now what are the things we need to do is device to cloud, cloud to device, IoT Edge. Okay. Now the one thing I need to make sure is once we get the message here, I want to make sure whether that message is processed or not. Okay, let me see. Let us run this one and see the log. So building and run the IoT Edge solution in simulator. I think I made the update only in the deployment template.json. Let me do the same update in deployment debug template.json. So that we can debug and okay, I messed up. Got it. Okay. Let's build and run IoT Edge solution in simulator running in the debug thing. Okay, I think it's is it running? Okay, it's run. Okay, 1 second, what's happening here? Okay, it's running this Docker, including both ping module and pong module. Sending it to the Docker, let's see. See. Okay, I got some error. Port is already located. I think I stopped that. I'm stopping all containers. Okay, so build and run IoT Edge solution in simulator. Again debug, so it's starting the registry, sending the build. I think the last time the container opened somewhere running in like the ghost instance, so the port is not opened. I stopped all containers. Now I'm restarting this process. Now let's see. No, still I'm getting like port is already allocated. Let's solve. Let's kill the node process. There is no node process, right? Then what is holding up this 9229? So for that one, find the process in port running in the Mac. Do you have this ls? Yeah, I have this ls off. 9229. Okay, I think Docker is still having that. So do I need to kill the Docker? Sudo kill on -9862. Something is holding off my Node.js debug process, right? ls of -i 9229 9229. So this is the debug port, but some process is holding that process is 862. So if I am saying like sudo kill -9862, yeah, it killed. Now if I'm seeing, okay, nothing holds right now. So let's go back here. Build and run Iot Edge solution in simulator. Running this deployment debug template.json. Okay, it's starting building again. Come on. Docker is still starting here. Docker desktop is starting. Since we killed the Docker, it's taking time to start. Let's do the restart here. Okay, now let's open the Docker here, and Docker daemon is starting. Docker desktop is starting. So once that is started, then probably we will start this I don't know why this is taking too much time. Docker desktop is starting. I'm waiting. Okay, let me run the Docker here. Let's go back to this Docker start or Docker daemon restart. Okay, it says service Docker restart. Okay, I just reset the Docker thing and restarting. Let's see, probably it needs to create a new image. Basically, like it's try to build the image here. Okay, we are very happy to have you. Thank you. Um, Now the Docker is restarting. So if I am accessing the Docker daemon, it should be working if it's restart. Do we need a system restart? Come on. Okay, I got bad response from Docker engine. I just killed the process which is running the Node.js. I don't know why the Docker is killed. No, the Docker is not running. How to stop the service and restart the Docker? Docker daemon restart. I don't know, my Docker is like taking time to restart. Service Docker restart, and yeah, this is the one. Will retry. Let me go back to my terminal here. Service Docker restart. Yeah, command not found. Or they say like dot. I think these are for the Unix thing. Okay, now going back to this Visual Studio Code. So let's go back to this code till this the Docker is running. Basically, once the Docker restart, then we can like deploy these images into our Iot Edge Simulator and run this. So what we are trying to do is trying to figure out like how the communication patterns work between two different Iot Edge modules, right? So we created the ping module, we created the pong module. So from the ping module, we are sending data with the unique identifier and the timestamp every 5 seconds. And the pong module is going to receive that and sending that to IoT hub. So what we have done is we have added the deployment template.json, the two modules in the module. So if you take that the IoT Edge deployment template JSON, it has Edge agent and Edge hub. So if you go to the Edge agent, You can see like the system modules that includes the Edge agent and Edge hub, and also you can add your custom modules. So here we have added a custom module, that is a ping module and pong module. So we have added this module and how it works and everything. And the Edge hub, this is where we are setting up the route to configure the communication channel, how it's going to happen between modules and also from modules to the IoT hub. So we have this ping module to pong module route. So whatever that's coming from the output of the ping module, we are sending that to the brokered endpoint. That is basically the pong module input, right? Then the pong module, it's going to receive all the messages that's coming from the ping module and push that to the IoT hub. So we are trying to try this one. In the meanwhile, Docker was stopped. Now it started again. Now let's try it again. Okay. So running this thing, build and run Iot Edge solution in simulator, running this deployment debug template.json. Okay, it's running the Docker thing. So it's going to run the image. You can see in the terminal here, it's executing the series of steps that from the Docker script. So each module in the IoT Edge, that is a separate container. So what this IoT Edge solution is going to do is it's going to facilitate like running the different containers in the IoT Edge device, and also exposing the network and how the communication happens between the modules. So it's going to take care of like setting up the port, those kind of things behind the scenes. So that's what's happening here. Or maybe both the module is trying to access the 9229, the debug thing. So maybe that's the reason. Let me try if I'm getting the same error as before, like 9229 is already in use, then probably we will figure out like how we can do that stuff. Okay, it's successfully built. Now it's trying to run it. It's pulling a edge hub device image. You can have this in like a Azure container registry also. So you can deploy all your IoT Edge modules in Azure Container Registry instead of having this the local thing. So whenever you are deploying that into the Azure Container Registry, then the IoT Edge agent is able to. I think I'm not sure that part, but you can see here like in the modules you can just Docker, and you can set up like a, what is your image. If it is not local, then you can provide your private registry image as well. Yeah, I got the same error 9229 because the port is already allocated for ping module. We are not able to use that port for pong module, right? So in that case, let me try without the debug stuff, because only the debug thing is exposing the port. But let's see like how we can use a different port for different modules so that we can debug all the modules at the same time. Stopping ping module, stopping pong module, stopping edge hub. Come on, let's Okay, it's pulling all this stuff. So it's running this Docker image. So we have this IoT Edge solution and ping module, Pong module. So this IoT Edge solution is running. Now you can see the log here. The ping module is sending the ping message status, and the route that is redirecting the message to the Pong module. And the Pong module, it's receiving the message. It should be sending that to the IoT hub. So let me go back to ping module here. So it's sending message, sending ping message, and the Pong module, it's receiving the message and sending to the output. Now if I go here into my IoT Edge device and start monitoring like a device to cloud message, you can see like the Pong module is sending the data back, but in fact this data is coming from the ping module. So that means, yeah, good, great, right? So we created the IoT Edge solution, 2 modules, and one module is able to communicate between another module, and the Pong module is sending data to the IoT hub. So that's what we are seeing here. Like whenever we are monitoring the device to cloud message to IoT hub, you can see like the data that is coming from the Pong module here. So that's great. So this is what we have done, right? So ping module, Pong module, and the communication stuff. So let's go and read this the route more detailed. So right now, like we just set up the route, the simple thing, getting all the outputs and redirecting to the broker endpoint, and getting all the outputs from the Pong module to the IoT hub. Let's go back to the documentation and see like more detail. What are the things happening here? So the deployment manifest. Okay. So if you see here, there are like a different type of source. Right now we are just use that the Pong module source, right? The ping module source. So you can do that like all messages or messages from specific module, or messages from all IoT Edge modules, or message from like a specific module, or the outputs of the message module. Yeah, so if you can use like this, then we can route this route the message between like a 2 different IoT Edge modules. That's great. So let's go back to the IoT Edge modules documentation. So this is what we are doing, developing custom code modules using Node.js. So we have used Visual Studio Code to create an IoT Edge Node.js module. Then we used Visual Studio Code and Docker to create a Docker image. Deploy the module view generated. Now the one thing we need to do is creating the IoT Edge model. So these are the things we have done. We need to build the IoT Edge solution. So that part we have to do. Then deploy and run the solution. Right now we are running in the simulator. So we need to create the deployment and deploy that as a device. Okay, cool. Now going back to our code. So how to deploy this one? Before that, yeah, I forgot to do. Before that, we will fix like the debug template JSON so that we are able to debug this ping and pong module, right? So both the module, it's exporting 9229 port for the debug purpose. So how to use a different port for the different modules, right? So let's go back to our documentation. So Node.js debug port different, or like I'm not sure, I always use 9229. I'm just wondering like how we can use a different port for the debug. So it says like how to change a Node.js debug port. You can use debug option node underscore underscore debug or the inspect. We can give the port number, right? So let's go back to our code, Visual Studio Code. We will try to modify the debug code so that like whenever we are running this IoT Edge solution in the debug mode, it should be able to debug both the modules. Exposed port is 9229. So ping module, let's keep it as 9229 itself, right? I'm going here. So 9229, and also here also 9229. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is let's keep ping module as a 9229. And going back to the Pong module, let me update to 9230 and exposing port to 9230. And in ARM32 V7 also I'm just exposing 9230 and inspect at 9230, right? I'm going back to this deployment debug template.json. So the ping module still it's 9229. Pong module I'm going to change this to 9230 and this also 9230. 9230. Yeah, so I have done this one. Now let's build the run Iot Edge solution template in simulator using the debug template.json. We will see like whether we are getting the same error what we get. Okay, before that I need to stop this. I will stop this one. Build and run IoT Edge solution in simulator using the debug template.json. It start running the Docker image. Now what we are trying to do is we are trying to assign the different debug port for the Node.js modules in IoT Edge solution so that I can debug like both the modules, both ping and pong modules using this different port, because Docker is exposing the same port. I got the error. It cannot like reuse the same port, so I'm assigning the different port for Dockerfile. Okay, it's running the Docker build here. It built both the ping and pong module. Now it's going to stop and restart the container with the different Node.js debug port for different modules. Let's see. I didn't try like debugging this as well, so probably I will try that as that also from the Visual Studio Code. Oh, it's asking Okay, it's removing, it's doing the network stuff. Yeah, I think today it was going in like a good pace. So today we learned a new thing, creating the IoT Edge solution. So I have like a couple of plans in my mind. The one thing is using this classification, right? Right now we are doing the board classification. What I'm planning to do is to find the data set, um, not only like classify between the fruits. I'm trying to find the data sets like to classify between the cuisines itself. For example, like either American cuisine or Chinese cuisine or Thai or Indian. So I'm just trying to figure out the data set. I think it really need like a huge data set. We cannot like achieve that using a few images, like 10 images or 11 images. I want like a complete variety of a data set with the different cuisines, right? So my thought process is like this only. So I'm going to have a Pi or the camera module that installed in my dining table. So what it's going to do is whenever there is a motion detected, for example, I'm going to sit and trying to have a dinner or trying to have a lunch. So what it should be doing is it should have a motor sensor related camera. So whenever there is a motion captured, then it should be seeing like, okay, some motion happened. So that means like someone came to eat in this dining table. So what it should do is the camera should be focusing on that the plate what we are having, and it like continuously taking the picture, right? Or it's continuously feeding into that the image classification. So if I'm having a dinner, let's say I'm having a dinner and I have like a Indian cuisine, right? Then the camera should detect like what cuisine type it is, and also what uh, what type of meals it is, right? Either breakfast or dinner. I think it would be tough to identify between breakfast dinner. At least it should be able to identify between the lunch and the breakfast. Probably like based on the time, the local time, we can detect like whether it's a breakfast or dinner, right? So this is what I'm trying to build. So let's take a picture of that plate, what type of cuisine it is, and what type of meals it is, and also how much time it's taking to complete that meal. For example, if I am a fast eater, then it should be like, okay, you should slow down the pace. You should eat like at least this much quantity of food. You need to eat for like 10 or 15 minutes, like that, right? So those kind of data. And also like in the lunch, let's say like I'm having the lunch, it should be detecting like okay, he's eating lunch for like 20 minutes, and 5 minutes we are eating like the appetizer, and 10 minutes we are eating the main course, and last 5 minutes we are eating the dessert. So I need like this kind of breakdown, so that like when I install the module in dining table, then it should be detecting all that and sending to the IoT hub. We can like extend this one for restaurant business to analyze the people behavior, right? So how much time they are taking for eat, and even like if you are trying the new dishes, then these IoT devices can easily identify like, okay, these are the dishes they are taking some time, or they are asking more dishes. So that means like the dish quality is good, or this is like very tasteful. So those kind of analysis we can do using that project. So once this once we have done with the learning, then probably I'm going to do that project, taking the food image data set, upload to the custom machine, train it, and export that model into IoT Edge, and install that in the Raspberry Pi, and exporting all this data into the IoT hub, so that from the from the IoT hub, or from the IoT hub we are sending that to either solution accelerator or some reporting mechanism, so that I can see like how much time I'm taking and what are the time I have taken my lunch in my dining table. So those kind of things we can do. So let's do that as well, right? That's my plan. So next thing probably we will be doing that. Okay, now it starts sending message. Let me put a breakpoint here. The breakpoint is already on, right? So how to debug this one? Oh, I create something. So debug attached to node process. How to run this? Ping module, remote debug. Okay, they already have this one. So now I am trying to, okay, ping module local debug. I try to run this. I'm not sure, like local debug is, let me go and inspect this VS Code settings.json. Launch.json here. I don't need this module. Okay, let me stop here. I don't need this module because this is we have already removed. So ping module remote debug and ping module local debug. So what it's doing is port number 9229 and this one is local debug, right? This one is a remote debug. I think we need the remote debug, and I need to change the port number here. So 9229 for ping and 9230 for pong. So what we are going to do is we are going to debug the ping module using remote debug. Running this, it should be attaching the debugger process to the port which is running that the Docker. So it's attached there, and I got this breakpoint. So now I am able to debug the IoT Edge module which is running in the Docker container. So the Docker container is running in the simulator here. Basically, that's another Docker image. Yeah, great. So using this one, I'm able to debug it here, right? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, VS Code is awesome. VS Code, we can do anything, right? Okay, I'm removing the breakpoint here. Now we need to extend these things, and also we need to identify like what are the, how to add the custom mission, or how to do the Azure function, or how to do the application inside. So let's do that stuff. In the meanwhile, I will just commit this one, but before that I want to make sure I don't have any personal information data or key here, because when you are testing, I'm not sure like how you are going to test that, right? I think those are stored in the configuration JSON. Okay, let me do this thing. Let me create a repository, push this stuff. We already have a repository, right? Going back to my GitHub repository, github.com. We have this board classification. Okay, so this one is for the board classification. Okay, let me add that Azure IoT Edge component here itself, right? So let's do some cleanup here. Going back to my board classification. Yeah, this is the JIT file. So what I'm going to do is creating a directory, board classification YAML, and open this one. going to move all the classification stuff into board classification YAML. So this code contain like the machine learning, the exported pre-trained model in this running in the Docker. Now the next thing I'm going to do is Iot Edge solution. So I'm going to create another or I just meant like Iot Edge solution. Oh, make directory Iot Edge solution. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this Iot Edge solution here to here. Ah, it's still moving. I'm trying to move that, instead I just like put a copy. Okay, it's moved. So here the config and other stuff. So let me do this Iot Edge solution. Before that I am just making sure it doesn't have any of my key. So opening this source code, Iot Edge solution, VS Code launch.json that contain ping module, pong module, and edge hub connection string. So I'm not sure like where this one is coming from, right? Okay, so is it somewhere here? No, these are the configuration for deployment. Okay, I think it's in the Visual Studio Code itself, right? Settings or configuration settings, I think. Okay, yeah, there is no key here. So now what I need to do is git status, and I'm adding this directory. Oh, I have this node modules as well. Why? Where is my pong module? Okay, I think I messed that up. Board classification, ML, Iot Edge solution, command. Okay, it didn't copy the files. Okay, let me go back to my terminal here. Yeah, this is my ping module. I don't know what going on here. It's everything here, right? Yeah, everything is here. Ping module. Okay, I will take a look at that and I will update the repository. So I will update the same thing in this repository itself. So today what we have learned is going back to so today what we have learned is use how to getting started with the Azure IoT Edge solution in Visual Studio Code. So we created the IoT Edge solution in Visual Studio Code, and we created the two modules, ping module and pong module, and we set up the Azure IoT Edge routers. Ping module is sending message to pong module, and pong module send message to IoT hub. So we have learned today is how the communication between the IoT Edge module happened, and how IoT Edge module is going to upstream the data to IoT hub. So those are the things we have seen, and also we set up the Docker uh, debug port so that we are able to debug our Node.js Edge modules from the Visual Studio Code itself, right? So the next thing what we are going to do is we are going to explore more on the IoT Edge solution, and also we are going to see how to deploy the IoT Edge containers into the real device. And once we get like comfortable with the IoT Edge device and the deployment, then we would be implementing the image classifier or classification of our pre-trained model, the boat image classification. We will be implementing that module into this IoT Edge solution. And thanks for coming and watching. And if you get a like a opportunity to see this video, please come and stop by. My schedule is Monday 8 p.m., Wednesday and Thursday 8 p.m. EST, and Saturday it's on noon. So thanks for coming and watching. Thank you guys. Please stop by and network. I need friends like you so that like we can learn together. Thanks guys. Bye.